Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing a reading now on Prince Charles's article in Newsweek, a recent article that he wrote, and it was very interesting because some people are interpreting his comments about Prince Harry as sending out or offering an olive branch to his younger son. He, of course, praised Prince William for Earthshot. He was talking about how his sons are the ones leading the way with environmental issues. All children are the ones leading the way with regards to environmental issues on the planet. Greta, where are you? He, of course, praised Prince William for Earthshot, and then he was very careful to follow that with praising Prince Harry for, and I'm quoting roughly, passionately highlighting climate change, especially in relation to Africa, and committing his charity to being net zero. Now, we all had a good laugh when the charity announced, Archewell announced it was going to be zero carbon by 2030, I think it was, because most people say that Archie will be lucky if it's even around next year, and certainly after it's released its financial statements, it looked pretty desperate. But anyway, it looks as if Prince Charles is doing his best to soothe Prince Harry's ruffled feathers. Prince Harry, of course, was conspicuously left out of the Queen's Christmas speech. She praised Prince Charles and Prince William for their environmental work, for following in the footsteps of Prince Philip, who was an early environmentalist. Prince Harry didn't get a mention. Prince Charles now quickly writing in Newsweek and praising Prince Harry. So I want to know what's going on with Prince Charles, what he's up to, what his intentions are with this, what's the state of the relationship with Prince Harry. And of particular interest for me as a South African is this mention of climate change in relation to Africa, Prince Harry's work in Africa. And I'm wondering if this is a long-term plan to reel Prince Harry back in and spin him around 3 times, blindfold him, spin him around, and then send him off to Africa to be rehabilitated. Prince Harry can live somewhere out of the public eye and combat poaching or climate change or whatever it is that Prince Harry can find to do to busy himself with far away from the rest of the royal family. So let's have a look and see what's going on with Prince Charles. I'm going to be doing, Fluffy has been sleeping on the tarot table. I'm going to be doing some more readings on Prince Charles and the Prince's Trust tomorrow. New York-based Prince's Trust. See what's going on with that. But for now, focus on that Newsweek article. What's up with it? And what's up with the mention of Africa? And bit of a scratch on my hand. I'm sorry for that. I have been doing some gardening, and it's always a bit prickly out there at the moment. So that's just the garden. What is going on behind the scenes? Oh, and I forgot to say, okay, let's put the card down. In my excitement about Africa being exploited yet again as a dumping ground for toxic waste, toxic royal waste, I am using the Tarot of Curious Creatures. It's a gorgeous deck, highly recommended, fun to read with, and what has popped out as the underlying energy of this reading is the Ten of Pentacles, the Royal Family card, very much the Minor Arcana Royal Family card. That's all about the family, the firm, money, security, securing the future, the line of succession, all of that, belonging somewhere, belonging to an institution that is very well provided for, very powerful, very secure, has been around for a very long time. And I say, there it is. It's all about that. It's all about the royal family, and it is all about making sure that everyone is well provided for and safe and secure within that family. That is the primary concern of the royal family, not you lot in Britain or the UK. Shall we expand the borders a bit? No, they care about themselves first and foremost. And yes, I probably get condemned in the comments for saying that, but yeah, if they weren't so self-protective, they wouldn't still be around. I think that is quite self-explanatory. So the heart of the matter, what's going on, there's the Hanged Man, and how very interesting. Because if you go and watch the reading I have just done, that's reading number 232 in my Royals playlist. I've literally just done that reading on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and whether they have split up already, whether they are living separate lives. The outcome of that reading was the Hanged Man. Everybody is waiting. Everything is in limbo. There are decisions to be made. There is enlightenment to be had. This little whatever, bat hanging upside down. I'm hopeless with animals. Anyway, that creature, curious creature, hanging upside down, gaining enlightenment. Everybody's waiting for the penny to drop. Ping. Yes, I see now. I see clearly at last. And I'm no longer going to be a victim in this relationship. Alleged victim. Oops. Let's throw that in. And I'm no longer going to sacrifice myself and my own needs. So we're waiting. Oh my goodness. And the dog had a lot to say about that. I'm going to have to let him out. He can't bear to hear this. Sorry about that. He's getting a bit senile and forgotten he's already been for his walk and wants to go on another one. So the challenge that Prince Charles is facing while everybody waits for this enlightenment to happen, the challenge is the Knight of Cups in reverse. There is a lot of emotion, a lot of upset, and I think it's very difficult for Prince Charles. He is, of course, a water sign, very sensitive man, a man who would, I think, really like to be not like to be loved, everybody wants to be loved, really quite needs to be loved. And it's in reverse. So I think there is a lot of heartache going on at the moment for Prince Charles, a lot of feeling of rejection, a lot of hurt. And yeah, I think that is speaks for itself, that card, the Knight of Cups, in this challenge position in this particular reading. So behind the scenes, hidden motivation for that Newsweek article. And it's the Two of Wands in reverse, and that's a partnership that's split. When you get the card in the reverse, it can be a business partnership. It can be plans that have unraveled. And it could be all kinds of partnerships. It could be Prince Charles and Prince Harry's relationship that has unraveled, that he's concerned about, and that is why he is writing the article. But also I think it is because he knows that Prince Harry is in trouble, that his plans and schemes aren't working out in California. And it's very interesting because the Two of Wands, there is a field, a road, and a field in the background, a field that is really cultivated under crops growing, and it is about your endeavors and how your endeavors are going, the Two of Wands, and in the reverse, not going well. And a very curious creature indeed, with his the red shoes. And it's amusing to me because I'm seeing them very vividly when this card is in the reverse. But yeah, it doesn't look like the plans and schemes are going well, and Prince Charles is very aware of it. I think it's more than his relationship with Prince Harry that has fallen apart. It is Prince Harry's own plans and schemes that have fallen apart. Prince Charles is very aware of it, trying to reach out, trying to give reassurance, and that is now Tess, who's woken up and having a scratch. But he is trying to somehow give assurance to Prince Harry that all is not in vain and his efforts are not wasted, and they have been noted by Prince Charles. So let's see Prince Charles's focus right now. And this is the ruin and desolation card, the Ten of Swords. And it's a real rock bottom. And I don't think it's Prince Charles's own feelings of ruin and desolation. Let's pull these cards down so you can see that a bit better. I think it is Prince Harry's ruin and desolation, that alleged, let's throw that in there, that Prince Charles is concerned about. He's very worried about Prince Harry. He's worried about all those swords around him. the ruin that Prince Harry has possibly reached, the pit, the bottomless pit. He's down in the bottomless pit, and how to get him out. And very difficult to reach him. And I know we are all want to see some form of retribution for what Prince Harry has done. But of course, this is a father and a son relationship. Very difficult to just condemn your son and wash your hands of him and say, oh, well, you've done all these terrible things to me, and now I'm going to disown you and leave you to it. Very, very difficult. And so sympathy to Prince Charles in this situation. We've all been there. And it's a horrible, horrible, horrible place to be. And what has happened in the past that the cards want to tell us about judgment. And that's an awakening. The trumpet sounding, person finally having that revelation. But it looks as if, almost as if Prince Charles is the one saying, wake up, wake up. You need to wake up. Everybody is shouting at Prince Harry, wake up, while he's hanging there from that tree, upside down. And there is a lot of, almost like an intervention, I feel from that card, which is quite a strange card. Judgment, of course, is your decisions, the things that you have done. It's in the upright, so it's not bad. But it is, come on now, wake up, and everybody is being judged at this point. And what has been going on, basically, I think ever since Meghan Markle entered the royal family, is that there has literally been judgment. Prince Harry, very critical of the way he was parented, and taking that generation back and saying it's because of the way his parents were parented, or his father in particular, being very critical. Meghan being very judgmental about her family, and being judgmental about the British people, about the British press, on and on and on. Enormous amounts of judgment. And that is why we're in the mess we are in. Well, the royal family is in the mess it is in. It's been judged. Judgment day has come. And perhaps a lot of people are waking up and seeing things that they didn't see before. And I know I certainly, in following this story, have become aware of things that I was blissfully unaware of previously. The way PR works, the way the media works, the way stories are planted in the media, the way you can pay for stories to be planted, the way paparazzi work. And yes, I was certainly much more naive way back when than I am now, all thanks to Harry and Meghan. So what's going to be happening in the future with Prince Charles and Prince Harry? The Ten of Wands. It looks as if Prince Harry is going to be struggling on. We've got 3 tens in this reading. Very interesting. 10 of Pentacles is the underlying energy of the structure, the security, the royal family. Come back. We look after you. We'll make sure you're safe and you're provided for. Prince Charles very worried, very focused on Prince Harry's failure, his potential ruin, the failure of all his ventures so far, and the fact that he might quite publicly be ruined, and is ruined at this point. His reputation's really in free fall at the moment. 10 of Wands coming up. That is just being exhausted. And both of them, I think, Prince Charles exhausted from having to carry this burden, and Prince Harry also exhausted from carrying his burden. And this person is carrying sticks through sand, up a sand dune, basically, firewood perhaps, but through a desert. And it does give that extra sense of just being worn to the bone, of the futility of the effort that you are having to put into a situation, that no matter what you do, it isn't going to bear fruit. It isn't going to make this harvest happen. That's the word that I was scratching around for there, but I was distracted by those red shoes. Bit of a cross-dresser energy in that card, and I haven't yet gone there with Prince Harry and read on that. I just don't have the strength for it right now. One day. So yes, the struggle will continue for the foreseeable future, and both father and son will struggle, will feel alone, will feel as if nobody is helping them. Doesn't look like there's a reconciliation anytime soon, or a solution to this problem anytime soon. So how is the relationship right now? The bottom card here, King of Swords. It looks as if there's some tough love going on. Let's move everything across a little bit. I know it's a mess. Here we go. And tough love going on there with that King of Swords card. It's as if in the loss of the actual King of Swords from the royal family, Prince Philip himself, air sign man, Prince Charles having to be the King of Swords, Prince Charles is having to be the one, oh yes, and barking out the door. Enthusiastic barking, so the dog agrees with me. Even though he had to leave the room in disgust while I was doing the reading, he now agrees with me that Prince Charles is becoming the King of Swords in this relationship, laying down the law, saying this is how it's going to be from now on. This is the way things are going to be. I'm not going to be dealing with you out of love, even though I'm very hurt. Knight of Cups in reverse. My heart aches for what has happened, for the hurt that you are going through and the hurt that you have put me through. I am going to be the one laying down the law and telling you your rules, what you can and can't do, and it's going to be harsh and it's going to be difficult, but it's going to be fair and it's going to be just and it's going to be what you deserve. So, Africa. Is Africa going to feature in Prince Harry's future? Doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it yet. And why? Because of the lady in the red dress. She's still in Prince Harry's life, of course. Page of Swords in reverse. The Page of Swords is a bit of an unpleasant card, a bit of a vicious card, vicious communication. It might be being discussed, and it does look as if it was discussed way back when, before Megxit. There were stories that suddenly appeared in the press about Harry and Meghan might do 6 months in Africa. South Africa was mentioned as a possible destination, and then suddenly, they were off to Canada. And South Africa was too dangerous, it was no good for them, and off they went to live in a Russian gangster's mansion, allegedly, in Canada. And wonder which is more dangerous. Anyway, that's just an idle thought, but Page of Swords in reverse, I would say she's resisting, even though there's probably research going on, communication about it, investigation. Shall we or shall we not? And now I see why I was so drawn to those red high heels, because there they are, and there she is in her red dress, and she's saying no over my dead body. Absolutely not. We are not going to Africa. This is not what's going to happen. We'll wait and see. I do think in my bones that is going to be Prince Harry's ultimate destination, but not while Meghan Markle is still very present in his life, and she is still very present in his life. If you go back to the previous reading, even though they may not technically be living together, they are still chained together in their financial endeavours, it seems to me. So hopes and fears for Prince Charles, Ace of Wands. He wants a fresh start here. He wants something that Prince Harry can get passionate about, and it's interesting that little clawed hand of the, and I've forgotten what the salamander or whatever it is in Wands, is clutching that olive branch. It's not an olive branch literally, but what are we talking about? An olive branch, and here the olive branch literally shows up in a card. He is trying to reach out. He is trying to fix things, mend things, start them on a new path, saying, listen, I do value your work. I do respect your commitment and your passion and your enthusiasm, and perhaps we can work on environmental projects together in the future. If you follow my rules, King of Swords down at the bottom of this reading. Outcome for now. And not good. The World in reverse. No, not a happy ending for them. World in the upright is literally the happy ending card. It is, we've been through this difficult chapter. We've been through the major arcana together, from Fool all the way through all the major arcana, and we've reached the final card. We have succeeded at our goal, and we have learned the lessons we were meant to learn. We have achieved what we were meant to achieve. We can close that book and we can move on, but no, it's in the reverse. Unsuccessful conclusion of the matter, and it's public. The world for me is always public, so it's going to be very public, this falling out. And it's interesting that the world is literally there. We don't have Africa, we have South America, but it is talking about the environment. It's talking about saving the world. No, And I don't mean that the world isn't going to be saved and the environment isn't going to be protected, but I do mean that there is no hope of these two working together in the near future, of them mending their relationship, of all this mess being sorted out anytime soon. It's going to get worse. They're going to be on their own, they're going to be struggling, very burdened, going through troubled times, both of them, and very public. The public's going to see it, and of course what is coming, the book. And we'll be looking at that again sometime in the near future. But there it is. Difficult reading for Prince Charles. Prince Harry's just not interested. He's not ready at this point for whatever message his father is trying to send him, trying to wake him up and trying to say, hey, come on, come back. Not all is forgiven, but come back, you fool. But no. So there's the reading, and so a bit of a wasted effort in Newsweek for Prince Charles, but I think it is proof. I think he is really trying to cover himself and say, look, I wrote this in Newsweek about you, so here it is documented. The whole world could see it. So when you start complaining about what an awful father I am, please look at this. A little bit too late, perhaps. But anyway, a sad story. And on that note, thank you for watching as ever, and I will see you again